Yeah, thanks very much for the introduction, Chrissy, and it's great to be here. I must admit, I don't think I've ever seen so many people at this conference. I've been coming here for a number of years. It was madly busy yesterday, so well done to the organisers. I want to just give you an update of our progress over the last 12 months. Kali's really only been listed for about 13 months, since January 2024. And of course, in many ways, the past 12 months have been a roller coaster for Kali, and I'm sure that many of you have walked that line as well, particularly if you've been in the lithium sector. And although Kali was born to be a lithium explorer, we're also, of course, very mindful of the current environment. Interesting to hear Chris's presentation just now, sort of almost going back to the future with his gold project. We kind of see ourselves a little bit in the same way, but of course at a much earlier stage. We're very fortunate that we've had, or do have, a great tenement package, and we've been able to generate some very, very potentially significant opportunities early stage outside of the lithium sector. And that's what I'll be talking about today, as well as giving you a bit of an update on our lithium. Okay. So firstly, let's take a bit of a recap of the last 12 months. I guess the most notable feature of Kali upon our listing was our tenement package. We've got about 4,000 square kilometres over 3 major projects, spread across WA, Victoria and New South Wales. In WA, our flagship project is our Higginsville lithium project, and we also have a package in the Pilbara and a very large tenement package of about 2,000 square kilometres in the southern Lachlan Fold Belt, on the border between Victoria and New South Wales. So in terms of our current funding, we finished December with just over 7 million in Treasury, and that basically means that we are fully funded for our exploration efforts in 2025. Our significant shareholders, of course, now include Westgold. The merger, the takeover of Karora that had vended in their lithium rights into Kali, obviously consummated mid last year, and we have Westgold as our major shareholder, holding just over 20%. In addition to that, obviously Kalamazoo are our second biggest shareholder at just under 20. They vended in their lithium assets, and of course just after we listed, Mineral Resources aggressively bought on market as part of their strategy to tie up the lithium corridor south of their Mount Marion mine. Of course, our strategic partners, we're very, very fortunate from day one to have SQM Australia as our partner in the Pilbara. They've been absolutely fantastic partners for us, both in terms of initially in Kalamazoo and then subsequently in Kali. And they're completely committed to our exploration efforts in the Pilbara. And of course, we have a team across the whole range of the mining process, from discovery through to development, and then mine management in both lithium and gold. So the obligatory corporate slide, I guess the two important numbers here are our market cap at just 15 million. The 7 million in cash gives us 8 million EV. Our top 4 shareholders account for approximately 60%, and 76% for the top 20. It's very, very tightly held. Obviously, with the board, I won't make too much mention of that, but I will mention our recently joined exploration manager, Mladen Stevanovic. His knowledge and enthusiasm for lithium and gold and geology in general has been absolutely fantastic, particularly for our younger members of our team. So Mladen's come to us previously as exploration manager at Bald Hill, so he has a very extensive experience in lithium. He's also made many gold discoveries at his tenure in Goldfields, so important for us going forward, given that we have an emerging gold story. So basically, we're now looking at a lithium, gold, and emerging tin story. Of course, the second half of 2024, whilst we continue to progress our lithium exploration, chiefly at Higginsville, we've been able to generate new opportunities. So under the expanded joint venture with with SQM Australia, where we now included a contiguous package at Pear Creek and Doms Hill, which is the green tenements there in the middle diagram. The Marble Bar project was actually handed back out of that joint venture into Cali 100%. And that's been enabled us to follow up on targets outside of the lithium sector. And we think that we've developed over the last 2 or 3 months a really, really interesting and potentially significant gold discovery, which we will hopefully intend to drill towards the middle of this year. That geochemical anomaly now measures a cumulative 9.5 kilometres in length, and we have rock chips at surface of up to 4 grams per tonne. In addition, at our Sweetwater prospect, this is part of the Southern Lachlan Fold Belt, we've demonstrated a potentially significant tin mineralisation, now with a cumulative strike length of 3.5 kilometres. Outcrop on surface varies between 1 and 20 metres wide, and we've got rock chips there going up to 16% tin oxide, which, if any of you know anything about tin, 16% is quite a remarkable grade, albeit in a rock chip. So we've got a lot of work to do there with respect to grade over the next few months. So those additional opportunities will probably be a significant part of our focus for 2025. We will continue to advance our lithium exploration, particularly at Higginsville and also in the Pilbara with our joint venture partners SQM. And we'll be looking to generate a whole list of robust drilling targets in lithium that we intend to drill when the time is right to drill them, and that is obviously not at the moment. Anyway, I'll go into a little bit more of these in some detail now. So this is a slide that illustrates what we're doing with the lithium potential at Higginsville. So Cali hold the lithium and associated mineral rights here from Westgold. 3D modelling of the historic database, unfortunately of which only 2% have lithium assays, provides an opportunity for us to go and re-log existing core where it exists. And to be honest, there's not a lot of core that exists, particularly in the pegmatites. Of course, there's more in the gold areas. But we can go back and look for the presence of spodumene and other pathfinder minerals that can lead to the development of drill targets. And the example that you can see on the screen now is from our Spargoville project area that's just south of Mineral Resources Mount Marion project. And here we can see the previous intersections of pegmatite from gold development drilling of the Spargoville underground mine. We've remodelled those, and where we can, we've inspected the core. And in that core, we've subsequently found spodumene in a number of these drill holes. So chasing these up dip to where they might daylight, we then go and send our field teams out to the field to areas that often have not been explored for before, to look for potential pegmatite outcrops, the presence of spodumene, and thereby look for shallow LCT drilling targets. And similarly, over the other key areas of this work, we're finding at Widgie-Maltha and Mount Henry to the south, and we're concentrating our efforts at the moment all the way down that western side of that corridor, so south of Mount Marion, through Spargoville, through Widgie-Maltha, and into Mount Henry, and that's where we're spending most of our time at the moment. In October 2024, Cali and SQM Australia agreed to expand our Pilbara lithium joint venture. And that included the Pear Creek project, formerly held by Cali, 100%, in addition to 2 large applications at Doms Hill and an additional application at Pear Creek. So we're now close to agreeing an initial work program and budget for 2025 for the expanded joint venture. And we're scheduled to start our lithium exploration program there around about April this year. Total commitment now to December 2026 now stands at 4.25 million from SQM to retain or assume a 50% project equity ownership. And as part of that transaction, as I said, Marble Bar project was returned to Cali 100%. So that gave us an opportunity to look for commodities outside of the lithium sector. So we went back, we had a look at some previous gold anomalism, and mapping and sampling in the field defined 2 emerging gold prospects, Tiger and Sherman. So gold in rock chips at Tiger and Sherman are up to 3 and 4 grams respectively. Reanalysis of some of the historic drill pulps has now defined a gold in soils anomaly over a cumulative strike length of 9.5 kilometres. Recently acquired high-definition aerial imagery is now being used to define mapping and sampling targets over the remainder of the anomaly, which we haven't actually yet been to. There's quite a lot of area here that we're yet to ground truth. But this represents a pretty significant opportunity for Cali, particularly when you consider that all these prospects lie just within 7 kilometres north of the Warrawoona Gold Project, which of course is now taken by Creasy. And likewise in the Southern Lachlan Fold Belt, initial sampling and mapping of the spodumene-bearing pegmatites here at Sweetwater has led to us defining an emerging tin project with soil anomalies now demonstrated over a cumulative strike length of 3.5 kilometres. Recent rock chip samples are grading up to 16% tin oxide. We've verified previous sampling, which was also very high grade, and recorded values of over 11% with some pretty handy tantalum grades as well. We found cassiterite grains particularly large. We're talking sort of thumb size in the quartz veins and the pegmatites. And I think after another round of mapping and sampling, we'll be able to define targets for bulk sampling and drilling later in the year. And it's important to realise we've only actually covered 5% of our tenure at this project, so we've still got a lot of work to do. LiDAR works particularly well here, seeing through the vegetation. We've actually discovered a number of pegmatites and much more consistent tin workings here from the 1930s than we had imagined. So what does it look like over the next 12 months? Well, lithium will be focusing on low-cost, potentially high-impact exploration, doing the fundamentals like mapping and sampling, finding spodumene on surface and defining drill targets. We're doing that with extensive 3D modelling from the existing database. And our work programs are essentially agreed between Cali and SQM Australia to begin in March, April. And likewise at Marble Bar, we'll be mapping and sampling with a aim of producing a very well thought out drill program for mid-year, I'm hoping. In the meantime, we continue to look out for strategic acquisitions and partnerships. And of course, we're also, where we can, reducing corporate costs, particularly with respect to the lithium. And just to sum up, our large tenement package spread over 3 major projects, all close to infrastructure. We've got a strong cash position, allows us to have our 2025 exploration program fully funded. We've got a very tight capital structure, high-profile shareholders, great strategic partner in SQM Australia. And lastly, a good team, proven experience over gold and lithium from discovery through to mine management. Thanks very much for your attention, and come and see us at Booth 8. Thanks.